So Rabbi say we have to get back to the basics. A little bit of Hilchas Sefiras HaOmer. Last time we went to that. We spoke about the avelos of Sefira, but the actual mitzvah of Sefiras HaOmer. I'd like to go through some dinim in Shulchan Aruch and Alter Rebbe, and discuss different Shaalos that come up. There is, in general, a machlokes whether or not it's Banenu nowadays Sefiras HaOmer is deraisa. Today we do not have the Korban HaOmer. We don't bring the Korban HaOmer on the second day of Pesach. So why should the Sefiras HaOmer be deraisa? So therefore, most Shitas hold, most Rishonim halten that the Sefira b'zman hazeh is only midrabanan. However, there is a sheet of the Rambam. The Rambam holds that even today, Sefiras HaOmer is deraisa in the Torah. L'chura, the Rambam learns pshat that the Omer, it's not that you have to count to the actual Korban HaOmer. You count from the day that you start, that they would have brought the Omer. You don't have to actually bring the Omer in order for it to be deraisa. The fact that this is the Yoim that the Omer was brought on, and Zman Shebes Yekayim, you start counting from them. Shekoyach. So, but the Rambam Shita is a das Yochid. It's not the Iker Deya. We find another Rishon that Aviyo also holds that way, but Mamish majority of the Rishonim hold that it's the Rabbanim. So, the Iker, the way we approach it is as a Din Rabbanim. Interestingly enough, there's a Shita not brought in Shulchan Aruch, but there's a sheet of one of the Rishonim which has a middle path. He has a middle path, which he says, you know, when you count Sefiras HaOmer, we count Yomim and we count Shavuos, days, and then we count the weeks. Because the Torah says, Tisperu Chamishim Yoim, and the Torah also says that you should count Shiva Shavuos, 7 weeks. So we count both a minyan of Yomim and a minyan of Shavuos. Came along Rabbeinu Yeruchim. Rabbeinu Yeruchim was a Talmud of the Rosh. And Rabbeinu Yeruchim said, Yomim are still deraisa today, however Shavuos are only midrabanan. He made a split. He was a middle shita between the Rambam who said it's deraisa, and the other shita is derabanan. He says part of it is deraisa, part of it is derabanan. Why did he mechalek between Yomim and Shavuos? I think we spoke one time about it here, but the Shavuos in the Torah connects Shavuos and the pasuk to the Korban. So since we don't have a Korban today, so the minyan of counting Shavuos is no longer min haTorah. Masha'in kin Yomim, the Torah never connects Yomim dafka with the Korban. Tisperu Chamishim Yom has nothing to do with the Korban, so therefore, why should one say that this mitzvah is no longer deraisa today? It should still be deraisa.
Where is the Shavuos connected to the Korban?
So you have to look in we have two places. Pashas Emer and Pashas Re'eh.
Yesterday's Shchitas.
No, the yesterday was Shemitah. But last week's Parasha, you had Dinim of all the Yom Tovim in Emer, so we had there. I don't remember exactly how he was medayik, but let's see in Pashas Re'eh. Pashas Re'eh, I think we also have Psukim over there. Yeah. Oh, in Pashas Re'eh it says, Shiva Shavuos Tisper Loch, Mehachel Chemesh Bakama Tochel lispa shavuos. When the sickle, the chermesh hits the cum of the stalk, when you start cutting the barley for the omer, the stalks of barley, then you should start counting shavuos. No, we don't do that today. Now, actually in Re'eh, it doesn't mention anything about days. It just mentions shavuos. In Parshas Emer, it says, Ad imachras hashviz tispru chamishim yoim. We craft Mincha Chadash Shel Hashem. Now, Mincha Chadash is talking about Shtei Halechem on Shavuos. So, it's not clear. The Sfas Emes actually wants a medayik for Keret, that the Psukim you can maybe learn differently. Al Kopanim, there's a Sefer, there's another Rishon called Rabbeinu Meir Halevi, the Rameh. Rabbeinu Meir Halevi, not as of a famous Rishon, but the Meir Halevi held that he also writes this thing like the Ben Yeruchim, that Shavuos is no longer Mederaisa, but Yom is. And he said, if you're going to ask why is it Taka, what's the chiluk between Yom and Shavuos, why is one connected to the carbon, one is not? He said it's a Soid. It's a Soid Hashem. We know all the reasons for everything. The Sameach, the Meir Simcha of Devinsk, the Rav in Devinsk before the Muhammad, the Meir Simcha held that he had a pshat to explain what's the kesher. Had a whole Torah to explain how, karbanis have tashlumin for 7 days. The 7 days you have tashlumin. That you can make up the carbon. Let's say all the 7 days, you have to bring a carbon chagiga every Yom Tiv. So you bring the carbon, you can bring on the first day. If you didn't bring on the first day Sukkot, you can bring it all the 7 days. The same thing with Pesach. Shavuos, you also have 7 days. Just only the first day is Min HaTorah Yom Tiv. The second day of the Rabbanan. But the rest is Yimei Choil. Till Yud Beis Sivan is called Yimei Tashlumin. We don't say Tachnun because these days you're able to mash the carbon even during the week. He brings from a Gemara, I don't remember the exact Gemara, it's Rosh Hashanah, but over there, the Gemara seems to be saying that the reason why we count weeks is in order to, through counting weeks, we're Mekadesh, that there should be a week that we should be able to bring Tashlumin Karbanis. Because the whole counting of weeks is in order to be able to have a week of Karbanis afterwards. Today we don't bring Karbanis, there's no point in counting the 7 weeks. Mashaking the days has to do with creating Yom Tiv. Through counting days, we know when is Shavuos. That has nothing to do with the Beis HaMikdash. Yom Tiv today is also Mederaisa. Just like the Yom Tiv is Mederaisa, so the days which count you up to the Yom Tiv are Deraisa today. But Shavuos, which have to do with the carbon, not with the actual Yom Tiv, and the carbon we don't have today, so this, he says it's not Deraisa. He said this was... It's his own beer, his own husband. He said that he should...
What's the lashon?
Svartum lechem imachas Shabbos ad Shabbos Hashvius.
The Torah says the first connects the Yomim to the Omer.
Oh, so I think I was looking. I don't know how they learned it. In Parshas Re'eh, it's clear. Only mentions Shavuos connection to the carbon. Here, L'chore, it has both. You have... Yeah. I think maybe they want to learn Pshat like this. You should count 7 weeks. Now, the next pasuk is till the 7th week.
Yeah.
Doesn't say in the same pasuk.
Okay, but it's in the same
Right. Yeah. I don't recall, but I remember the Sfas Emes questioning the whole pshat that this is not totally in carbon. Everything like where he didn't see in the pasuk the whole shita ben Yeruchim. He said it's very hard to see inside the psukim. Anyways, but there is such a shita in 2 Rishonim quotas. This shita. In no ben Yeruchim shita, the Rebbe even has a maimer of the Rebbe, maimer Chassidus, where he mentioned all the 3 opinions. That whether it's the Ramashit is the Raisa today, whether it's the Rabbanan today, like all the other days, or whether there's many Yeruchim where it's half-half. And he explained Api Chassidus. He gave a beer explaining that what is the Avodah of days and what is the Avodah of weeks. The avodah of weeks is a klolistic avodah. It's a klolistic avodah. Yemavar, what's a week? Yemavar, the whole entire midah, right? The 7 weeks represent each week is another midah, chesed, and every day represents another pratistic midah. So days, every day that goes by represents how we're refining another specific midah. But when you take a week into account, means I have the ability to change over the entire midah, not just one prat. So Ben Yeruchim said today in Golus, we don't have anymore the koyach to change over the whole midah. But every day as a prat, you can work on every day as a prat. So on the Yamim, it's still the nicer today, because that we could demand from you in Golus. But the demand from you, Shavuos, that you could change over your midas, your whole midah, we can't demand. We don't have that koyach anymore, like Vizman Beis HaMikdash, to have Avas Hashem and Yiras Hashem and that madrega. But we could still work on our pratistic things. We could be careful about pratistic things. But to change over our general midas, that we should suddenly not have a Yetzirah, have midas for kedusha, we don't. We have to serve Hashem anyways. But we do it more with Kabbalah soil.
So really, but he's going first with Nigla and then Nister.
Yeah, Ben Yeruchim doesn't mention the word Nigla. The Rebbe, Nehemiah Chassidus, Mitamol, decided to explain Ben Yeruchim's Shita. It's a big pella. In the middle of a Shita, he's explaining a far out Shita of Ben Yeruchim in Sefiras HaOmer ties it into Avodas Hashem. What does it mean in Nister?
Well, because the Maisa, even though we don't pass like him, but the concept is still true.
Right, exactly. What did he mean with it? In Nister, every single Shita in Chitzonius, Nigla has a background in Pnimius. I'll tell you something interesting, and then we have to go further. Maybe I said it here once, but the Rambam wrote a sefer, Moira Nevuchim. Moira Nevuchim is a very logic-based sefer, a work of philosophy of the Rambam. And the Moira Nevuchim, the Rambam also goes through mitzvahs, and gives very logical reasons for all the mitzvahs. Each mitzvah goes through the mitzvah and gives a logical reason. Now, if you learn Chassidus and Kabbalah, they have very lofty reasons for these mitzvahs. But for the Rambam and his Moira Nevuchim went with a very seichelic approach to Torah, where everything can be explained balabatish down here in this world. For example, why in the Beis Midrash you have to have Ketores? The Rambam says something strange. He says, you know what you have Ketores? It was just because there was a lot of karbanos there, so you had a lot of bad smells. You need to have Ketores to have a good smell. So he came and rationalized the Torah. He rationalized each mitzvah. So those days, Aristotle philosophy was very prevalent, and rationalism, and therefore they weren't willing to accept Torah unless he was able to say a rational reason for why you have to do it. Now, you would think, these are rational reasons the Rambam gave, but these are not the real reasons. They have nothing to do with the truth. There's really deeper reasons why Hashem told us to do it. But this is not the real reason. So they had to write for the Nevuchim, for the guide for perplexed. People that are perplexed and feel they need to hold on to it. However, Chassidish Tzaddikim did not look at it that way. And they said the Moira Nevuchim is a very deep sefer, and it's not based on rationalism. The Moira Nevuchim is based on Kabbalah. There's not a word of Kabbalah in Moira Nevuchim.
Not to the ones that meets not that.
It's what's seen to the open eye, or meets the eye. So like this, everything. The Rambam wouldn't say anything on his own which didn't have a source, a shayrish in Olam Yisrael Yoinim. Meaning we know everything starts up from higher Olam Yisrael and comes down lower. So the mitzvahs also. The mitzvahs have reasons, deep secret reasons, al pi Kabbalah, al pi Soid. But as the Torah descends down, it gets more reasons. The reasons that for each world. When it comes into the physical world, that very lofty reason comes down now and is enclosed in a rationalistic reason. It seems like all it is a rationalistic reason. You look deeper into it, the source of this reason really is a deeper and a more lofty Kabbalistic concept. There's one of the Rebbes, the Radziner Rebbes, that made a sefer which goes through a lot of mitzvahs in the Moira Nevuchim and explains that the Rambam's real yisoid for why he said this, rationalized this pshat, is really based on Kabbalah. And a very, very geschmacky pirushah. Regarding Ketores,
did I ever quote it?
Not sure if you quoted the sefer. It's a Gavaldik sefer. Not sure if it's quoted somewhere in the Kodesh Sefer. So the Maisa is you read it and it's amazing, the stuff that he found. But let's talk about Ketoides. I don't want. I'm just bringing an example. Then I'm going to go into the Iker example. Shegavalda King. Ketoides, the Rambam says, is just a lahavir harei hara. He says if you look in Zohar, says the Radziner Rebbe, talking about it from the 100 years ago that it's in it. He said you'll find the Zohar explains it's to take away the bad smell of klippus, to get rid of the klippus. That this is going to get rid of the bad smell of klippus. It's a ruchnistic thing. The Rambam wasn't going to write that ruchnistic tam. He wrote it the way it came down in a rational way. He said it's to get rid of the smell of the karbanis. But really, it comes from this reason. So there's a gevaldik pshat. There's only one mitzvah in the Moreh Nevuchim, which the Rambam says he doesn't have a reason for it. He can't rationalize a reason for this mitzvah. Could you believe which one it is?
It's not paraduma.
Shtei halechem. Lechem aponim. He doesn't have a reason for the lechem aponim.
That's interesting.
Here it becomes a big pelach.
Chinuch has one.
No, but in his Moreh Nevuchim, there's no reason for his lechem aponim. What could be? What's so hard? If you found a pshat for all the karbanis,
right?
You find pshat. Why can't he find a pshat for the lechem upon him? It's another form of a carbon. What's the givenda? But the Rambam said he doesn't know pshat. What's very fascinating is this ties into the line. It says nothing that Radziner didn't say this vart. I'm just tying this into the Radziner's Torah that Chassidim say over this vart. I'm saying now. It comes from big tzaddikim that the lechem upon him. You know who else doesn't know the reason for the lechem upon him? The Mukubalim don't know the reason for lechem upon him.
Otherwise, the Rambam would know it.
The Rambam would know. Where do we see the Mukubalim don't know? Every Shabbos, we say, that according to the Arizal made
12.
For all the 3 sudas. He's supposed to say a izmira, a piyut for each suda. The Arizal made. The Arizal made for Shabbos day. He made one called Asadar l'Sudasa. He made for all the 3 sudas. What do we say in Asadar l'Sudasa? A very interesting line. In Asadar l'Sudasa, we say we ask Hashem, Yegalalon Taimei, please explain to us, reveal to us the reason, the B'srei Sename, that we have 12 breads. The 12 breads of Lechem upon him. Means that Arizal, the Gres, the Makubal, says, I don't know the reason. We're asking Hashem, Yegalon Taimei, the B'srei Sename. Tell us the reason for Lechem upon him. Based on this, we understand why Mitamol comes to only one reason. The Ram, some reason, can't figure out a pshat. Why did we bring the lechem upon him? Because in Kabbalah he didn't see a reason. If the tam wasn't revealed in Soid, in the Nister of the Torah, he didn't see a tam for lechem upon him. He didn't have any what to bring down into the Lashonistic world. Because these are not just tam time the Rambam just made up. He rationalized what he saw inside. He brought it into the world of Asiyah, into the world of Seichel. He didn't see it in Kabbalah. He had nothing to say in the world of Asiyah. This is not from the Radziner. The Radziner is another thing. He has another mitzvahs. This is a vart, which they say name of the Ishbitzer, different svarim bring down. But Chassid Lubavitch Chassidim used to say over this Torah. And Lubavitch used to take it over by this Torah of the Lechem upon him. Gehört am Olam Yisrael?
No, never heard it.
Kamal Kavar.
Yeah.
Rabbi Yoel likes the chaz of this.
It's very interesting.
I found later on the Battle Rifkin al
It was only the Paraduma that Moshe didn't know.
No, there is things that even the Rambam himself, Medavukim says, is Xeris HaKosef. As much as we could, we try to rationalize. The Mashal, the Karbanis, we have a lot of, every carbon, there's so many details. How it should be brought, the blood, this, what should be, what can be, what cannot be. The Rambam on this, it's Xeris HaKosef. This he doesn't have a reason for. He has a reason for the general concept of Karbanis. But he doesn't have reasons for the pratim. Pirtei pratim he doesn't have reasons for. It should be punkt azay and azay and azay. What could be the svara? This he has to leave up to the Gzeres HaKos. But it's a very new take on the Moreh Nevuchim. We find now in Take in Hayoim. Now we can understand what it says in Hayoim Yoim. That I think it was either the Reb Marash, one of the Rebbes, learned with his son Moreh Nevuchim al pi Chasidus. He learned Moreh Nevuchim based on Chassidus. Then he learned. Someone said it with his son. So The Shai, what do you mean he learned Moreh Nevuchim? Because Moreh Nevuchim is not a work of Chassidus. You learn Moreh Nevuchim, Kabbalah, Chassidus, Chassidus. How do you learn Moreh Nevuchim Api Chassidus? But maybe once you know this shot,
he also learned the Kuzari.
and he also learned the Kuzari Api Chassidus. So what does it have to do with Chassidus? But it could be, if you learn things on a deeper level, and that's Pshat, you see in the depth what really the Rambam is saying over here. Anyways, the Radzina Sefiras, a very geschmack. I one time took a look over there. Very geschmack at Biyurim in the Rambam's Moreh Nevuchim.
It was a maverick.
Yeah.
It was a maverick.
One of the Mekubalim Harishonim, his name was Rabbi Abraham Abulafia. I don't know if you ever heard of him.
Sure, from he was in Tveria, I think.
No, he traveled all over. He was originally from Spain, but then he went to Italy, to Israel, to Greece. But he was a very controversial Mekubal. So he wrote a whole book. It's called Sefiras HaOmer.
The Moreh Nevuchim Api Kabbalah?
Yeah, but it's a entirely different thing than what you're used to. It's first of all, what the Rambam calls rationalism really doesn't hold up really, because like if you would tell these rationalistic explanations to people today, they would laugh at you. And even in his day, very likely people would have laughed at them. Like even the Ramban laughed at them. He said just like the Rambam said, they don't even make sense if you're trying to rationalize things. This doesn't make any sense rationally. But still, some things and Arizal says clearly that the Rambam did not socher to Kabbalah. I know that some people try to explain that away, but that's what the Arizal says. And
Is that true?
Yeah.
There's a big machlekes about it. A big machlekes about it. It's not pashut.
I know that.
A lot of people bring rayas that he did. That was the Chidah writes, I think, that in Soif Yamov he did learn Kabbalah.
Yeah, I know that. I heard that already. But
there is some things the Rambam writes. Lamashal, they have things that there's no source for besides for Zohar. For example, the Payas. The Rambam writes that we have a Kabbalah from our fathers that when someone can cut his Payas, he should leave 40. There's no other source besides for Kabbalah. For this. Anyways, I'm not familiar with this whole discussion, but this is a big discussion. In Chabad Chassidim have a Kabbalah that the Rambam wasn't Mekubal. At what point in his life he was Mekubal, he was only later on in life. There's a lot of discussions about it. It's not a discussion only by Chassidim, it's a discussion b'chlal about what was the Rambam's shaykhus, the Torah's HaKabbalah. Okay, so let's take a look and learn a little bit.
Rizal says clearly that according to the Shorshik of his Neshama, talking about Peyot, in Sha'ar William it says that they were both named Moshe because they both came from the Peyot of Adam HaRishon. But Rambam came from the left Peyah, and the Ramban from the right Peyah. And that's why Rambam was not so good to Kabbalah, whereas Ramban was.
Who said this?
It's in the Rizal in Sha'ar William.
Really? Well, they were both Spaniards.
Okay, they were both Spaniards. And also, they, unlike others, they also went into what you would call the meaning of the Torah as opposed to the dry legalisms of it. Just the Ramban did it philosophically,
I don't think they ever
and the
called it
Ramban
dry.
did it Kabbalistically.
They never called it dry.
No, certainly legalistic.
Well, you said dry.
Well, I can show you great men who called it dry, and that's why that's.
Well, the Ramban and the Rambam never called it dry.
No, because they had the panimiyut on
Only the
also in their
Rishonim
own
from
way.
Canada called it dry.
Huh?
Only the Rishonim from Canada.
From Canada.
They can do dry stuff.
So the Meister Rabbi say that Alter Rebbe starts off with the sheet of the Rambam. Mitzvahs HaSeim and HaTorah She'yis B'Kol Echem Yisrael Shiva Shavuos Yamim. He quotes the Rambam's Lashon. Miyoyim Avos HaKorban Oyim Mishem Esfartim Mos HaShabbos Miyoyim Aviyachem Zem HaTnufa Sheva Shavuos Timotiyana V'Oyim is another pasuk Shiva Shavuos Tisbalach. Now, who has to count? Bezdin has to count every private person. We just learned in the Psukim about Bezdin, right? Rashi says, by Shemitah, Bezdin has to say, count it. And by Yovel, they have to say, it's Kaddish in the beginning of the year. So, Darsha Chachamim in the pasuk Tisbalach, it says Tisbalach, you should count Lashon Yachid, not Lachem, Lach. Yachid, but Bezdin, I would think it's Bezdin, because Lach is a singular form. Doesn't refer to all of Klal Yisrael, it only refers to the Bezdin, K'moi b'yoyvel shesoifim bebezdin sheva shabbos hashonim. When catch and shnasa chamishim loyovel, tamaloymer usfartim lachem. If we have the pasuk, the first pasuk usfartim lachem k'dei l'soifer l'chol echad ve'echad. Lachem Moshe Rabbim, that every single person needs to count. Ve'einat tzibra she'at tzibra yichon lism b'at kulam. You can't have the minyan or the tzibra counting for you. You have to count. By the way, we're not talking about in a case where you heard it from the tzibra, you heard it from the shliach tzibra. We're saying they can't do it for you. It's not a minyan. You know, some things are choivas at tzibra and choivas at yachid. You say, you know, is it a choiv of the yachid to do it or choiv of the tzibra? You could think, you know, I could stay home, but the fact that tzibra saying sfira, that's enough. No, we learn out from Lachem, Einat Tzibra Shliach Tzibra Lisp B'at Kulam. That can't do it for you. Now I would think, you know what, the Tzibra can't do it for you because you never asked them to do it for you, so they can't be a Shliach. But what happens if I tell someone, be my Shliach, my personal Shliach, to count Sfira for me? Like you send a Shliach to get tzedakah for you, to take Maisa for you from your wheat, or you can send a Shliach to do a lot of mitzvahs. The Shliach can put up your mezuzah for you. You don't have to put up mezuzah yourself.
But to make an actual enunciation of it, that's the mitzvah where it is enunciation. So how could you think you can make
maybe just like other mitzvahs that
there's no enunciation mitzvah that's
but even the bracha, the shliach can even make the bracha for you.
If you hear it.
No, look, by a mezuzah, you can put on your mezuzahs and you can be your shliach.
The mitzvah is not the bracha, the mitzvah is the kfiyas mezuzah. It's a mitzvah chefs, it's not a gavra.
This we have to learn now.
This
gufa, as we're starting the outset of Suzaim, we need to clarify what exactly is this mitzvah. The last line of the first paragraph. It wasn't just a tzibur saying, in your home. You actually told them, count from me. If you didn't hear it from him, because your personal chiv. It's a choivas hayachid, and it's not a choivas hayachid like mezuzah, which you can get someone else to. It's a choivas hayachid, a personally that you yourself look like tefillin. You can't ask someone to put on tefillin for you. Right? You can't make a shliach to put on tefillin. You have to actually, your own guf has to put on tefillin. There's a lot of discussion in Paskim, which mitzvahs are you allowed to do with a shliach and which ones you're not. And what is the kolalim, what is the logical, what is the rules, why some are you allowed to do shliach, why some not? Where do we know? There's a lot of discussion about these things. Avol, however, if you yourself heard the svira from your friend, you had kavanah to be yoitza from your chaver, even your chaver that's saying the svira also has kavanah to be moitza you. In Torah there's a klal, if you hear, it's as if you said. Like you hear the Kriyas HaTorah every day, yoitza, right? You have to hear from someone who's mechuyev. You can't hear from a woman or a child. You have to hear from someone who's mechuyev in the mitzvah. If you hear from someone who's mechuyev, then you're. However, not everyone agrees. V'yesh cholken hazeh. V'oim shetzarich shetehei hasvira l'chol echad v'echad. The svira has to be to everyone mamish. Shekolecha yisma ba'atzmai. The machloikis, is it enough to be here or no? Maybe the Sefiras HaOmer teaches you that kipshuta, your mouth has to. You can't have shemei koine. Your mouth has to physically say those words.
It's just anoshi.
V'yishlachol shel d'reim l'chatchila shelismech al shmiyas hasvira me'ashrech tzibur. The Rebbe says a psak halacha is l'chatchila. We should be concerned for the latter's words and say svira itself. But if someone heard the svira from his friend, he's yoitza if he did this. After the bracha you're allowed to hear from someone else. 10 people are doing a mitzvah together, one person can make a bracha for everyone else. Like by halal, right? So like for someone who can no longer count Sfira anymore, he missed the full day, he should listen to the Shliach Tzibas Bracha and be mechaven to be Yotzeh. And then he could be Yotzeh. So he really has the Bracha, right? He can't say it himself. Now, in general, the beginning is the Lashon of the Rambam, interspersed with Alter Rebbe puts in this other Shitas over here, this Yesh Cholkin. He continues on with the Lashon of the Rambam. Nashim v'avadim peturim mitzazu. Women and slaves are patur from this mitzvah. Yishuv mitzvah sasei shazman grama. All mitzvah say shazman grama, women are patur. V'mixas medina is sama hanashim mitzvah aleim chayva. Some countries, this is already not the Rambam, some countries, women have placed this mitzvah upon the Zachiv, just like women go to hear Tkiyah Shofar, or Mikra Tkiyah Shofar. Tkiyah Shofar is a mitzvah say shazman grama, it's time connected to time. Any mitzvah, all the loisas shasalis of the women are chayavas, besides for loisakifu pas reishchem, besides for payas. However, mitzvah say depends which ones. The ones that are connected to time, then they're part. However, some places women took it upon themselves to do it. So the Shaalos, are they allowed to say a bracha? No. It's not, they're not chayiv in the mitzvah.
Well, I mean,
they took it upon themselves a chiyuv, but it's not really a chiyuv.
If she would wear tefillin, would she make a bracha?
Oh. So this boils down to all this machloikas. Anytime someone, a woman or anyone who's patur from a mitzvah, but decides they want to do the mitzvah, they want to go the extra and do the mitzvah, are they allowed to make a bracha? It's a machloikis rishonim. The Rambam says you're not allowed to. Tosfos Rabbeinu Tam says you are allowed to. So when it comes to halacha, the Mechaber in Shulchan Aruch, who was a Sfardi, went like the Rambam, that you're not allowed to. The Ramah, Ashkenazim, went like the Tosfos, who was Ashkenazi, Paisik Rishon.
And of course,
so you're allowed to.
Rabbeinu Tam's mother made a bracha.
Yeah, and so therefore the Rabbi Vadi Yosef will tell you clearly, it says that you're not allowed to make it. So this is at the Chiluk in Sfarad and Ashkenazim. So not only this mitzvah, all mitzvahs, they're not like the bracha. We follow the Shita, the Ramah, that they're allowed to make a bracha. What does it mean, Shekit Shalom mitzvahs, if they weren't commanded? Shekit Shalom means that there are men which are commanded. Hashem commanded men, commanded Klal Yisrael, commanded men.
Because she's really one with her
husband. But not the word commanded.
Right, she's one with her husband. They're both one neshama.
Well, if they're not married, but it's still
her is a connected.
Klal Yisrael. There's a different Klal Yisrael's connect.
He can sanctify us, meaning all Jews.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. There are other Jews in the Bashar commanded. So Lamaisa, therefore, he writes of it, Ein Chashash Iser Bameshim Avarchis Allah Ashim Tursamena. Ein Sifid Zayin Chasitzis. Referring to Chasitzis, where the din is if a lady put on tzitzis, she can make a bracha. And there were ladies in history. There were ladies in history that wore tzitzis.
And tefillin.
And more prevalent with tzitzis. Tefillin was mamish. Yeah. There are people today alive that their bubbas were very big tzaddikas and it wore tefillin. Tzitzis.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know people.
Talis Katan or Talis Gadol?
I know two people.
Talis Gadol or Talis Katan?
No, Talis Katan. They wouldn't do any which should see. But tefillin is already a bigger problem because you need gufnaki and other issues with the women with tefillin. But still, in all, that has nothing to do with the fact of people that are trying to change Yiddishkeit. It's not about tzitzis and tefillin. They have a Rebbe lady who was a big tzaddik, as a special neshama, and you had the daughters of Rashi, and they put on tefillin. They were holy ladies. It's a special. They didn't try to change a whole movement that ladies should all have to start wearing tefillin. And definitely that they're mechuyev to do it, right? But when you have a group that's saying that we don't believe in the same tenets that you believe, and it's like a story. One time I met a Reform rabbi. I met with him, and he said to me, he doesn't understand why we won't come to visit him in his temple. He said, you can keep 613 mitzvahs and come to my temple. I don't mind. You can keep 1, 2, 3. different levels. You want to keep. I don't have a problem with people that keep 613. He was a liberal rabbi. He didn't mind if we would come and keep 613. He wondered why we wouldn't come in. I said that's the issue. The issue is you feel that you can keep 1 or 2, 3, whatever you like. So even the 613 is just arbitrary. So we can't meet. So when you have someone who could be doing a mitzvah seemingly, but their whole kavanah is to change Yiddishkeit, to make that statement, that's not coming from good sources. There's a good gachmanis on this Reform rabbi because his daughter became a balas tshuva and she married a meya sha'arimnik. It was very sad. I felt very bad for him. He told me that his daughter comes to visit them, and he is a very chash of the temple, and there must be a big kiddush there. And he told me that when his daughter comes down, they won't daven in his temple. Very embarrassing. The rabbi, a huge congregation, his own daughter won't pray by him, and she and her husband walk to the Chabad house 45 minutes away to daven in Chabad. But he needs to show some type of solidarity to this situation over here, so he drives there and davens together with them the prayers to show he's with his kids and whatever choices they make. He shows.
Is this in
They shouldn't tell him where they daven.
It's in California.
They shouldn't tell him where they daven because then he won't drive to them.
I don't even remember the area. Near Thousand Oaks, California. It's in the valley.
Sherman Oaks, Thousand Oaks, whatever.
Yeah, not the same place, but yeah.
You shouldn't tell him where they daven because then he won't drive.
The thing with the women of the wall.
But they said he was telling me that they think he's an apikoros.
They can keep the what?
It's the women.
So his daughter and they think he's an apikoros and everything,
Oh, okay.
Nice, it's finished.
The thing with the women of the wall, it's
The
not
women
so much,
off the wall.
it's not so much that they want to remake Judaism, but it's just, number one, most of them, first of all, the leaders of them, like this lady Anat Hoffman, I don't even think she believes in God. She was the leader of the Meretz Party, which is anti-religious.
she just wants to
Wants to
fight. She wants to fight.
Okay, now the rest of them who go after them, most of them, they're either psychiatric cases or just messed up. They don't even know. Look up when they put on.
There's not really theology over there.
Yeah, because like when you see them, they don't even dress sanua. They wear short sleeves and long necklines, and when they're putting on the tefillin. And they put the tefillin on the forehead, not above the hairline.
So they got the whole thing mixed up.
It's just a political.
It's a political statement.
It's a combination of.
It's not like we're going to see thousands of women starting running to the wall with tefillin and talesim.
You never know. You never know.
If they would do everything, if they would first do everything that a woman has to do, then they'll say
all the other mitzvahs you're saying.
No, not
Good
all
point.
the mitzvahs that a women have to do. Then you can do the mitzvahs that men have to do.
They only do
also.
the men's mitzvahs.
Yeah.
Good point. You have a lot of good points.
That's a very good one. They only do the men.
Make them a special wall that they can pray at.
They're already off the wall. There's no wall they can stick to.
When they had this, they still have this problem with the reform. They want to legalize make reform as a legitimate stream of Judaism in Israel. So the Rabbanut came out with a simple solution to the problem. We'll allow you to have all the Reform temples you want, but it can't be called Judaism. It has to be called a different religion.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Okay.
The wackos.
So Rabbi say, you know what is interesting is
They said, like, for instance, today in Israel there's a Karaite community which is recognized by the government, but they're called Karaites. They're not called Judaism.
Karaim.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have Karaim today still.
Yeah. And they have some Americans also.
Now that'll take out all the pleasure that they have. If you don't call it Judaism, then no one will give them attention.
What's the chiluk in the Karaim and the Shamranim? What's the?
The Karaim. Today I don't know.
No one's going to give them attention if they
the
call
Karaim, when they started off in the time of Sadia Gaon, they were Jews who just were kofer Torah Shabbat Peh.
Right.
And the Shomonim, they're the ones who are called in the Talmud the Kuthim.
Kufim?
The Kuthim. So they were when Nebuchadnezzar came along and exiled all the Jews. He brought in these people from a place in Chutzlar. It's called Kuta.
Right.
And he brought them in to take the place of the Jews. And these kutim, they went through some kind of a
Gear.
some kind of a giur.
Gay Arayas.
And
Where were they
right,
from?
so it wasn't clear later on in history. It became unclear whether their original gerut was just a political gerut or a real gerut.
Right.
Until they discovered some archaeological evidence to prove that their original gerut was pasul. And then the Talmud finally decided that they were never Jews.
There's
But
a-
the Karaites today, though, it's a problem if they're even kosher because they
Mixed in a gittin and everything.
and stuff like that. Yeah.
Sure. You have the group of Beta Israel in India. That's a whole different group. But Bnei Israel, they call themselves.
Yeah, but it's not so clear that they're not no good. They could very well be good kosher Jews.
That's the hard thing. They were separate from the Jewish people for so many years. It's very hard to know exactly. They say that they came from a shipwreck.
Yeah.
From where?
The shipwreck, and they came to they shipwrecked in India, and they're living there since. So they all come from this. Recently, there were some studies, some DNA studies, which links them to Jewish people.
Which links them to what?
To Jewish people. They keep certain things, but certain things they don't keep, and they have their own things that they do. A lot of them are in Israel now. A lot of them went to Eretz Yisrael. There's some left. Where Rabbi Holtzberg was in Bombay, India, there was a whole group of them, saying a whole shul there, and they had a lot.
There was an
You have the whole thing of the Sefiras HaShvatim, the different groups that say that they're from different Shvatim. It's a lot of fascinating things that have come up, Shaalos, that have come up now as to,
Did you see a tribal king from Togo claimed that many of those tribes are from Jews, and he said their minhagim are Jewish minhagim.
That is scientifically impossible. That these black people from Africa are genetic Jews.
They look.
Even the Ethiopians. I'm not saying they're not Jewish. It's possible that they are Jewish, but only if they are Jewish, it's because their ancestors became Gerim.
They've done DNA studies.
Oh no, okay. So I don't know about DNA studies, but I know something about genetics. Now, genetically, it's impossible for them to be Jewish genetically. It's possible that they might have been Jewish.
They tested the DNA. There's no.
What did the DNA test say?
It showed that they were from Jews, but they were required to have a bris.
I can't comment on that because I never read anything about it.
It was studied very intensively.
Okay, I can't say this. That according to the laws of genetics, there's a thing like if a white man marries a white woman, it's genetically impossible that they should have a black baby. If you have if a white man marries a black
what happens if it was black? The problem is there was a lot of intermarriage, obviously, there.
No, but the thing is, though, that if there was intermarriage, there would be
some
all
white.
black. There would be some white, some among them who were white.
I think that therefore it's all must be all
But
black.
the thing is that they have what's called a pure genetic pool. That all of them are black.
I hear what you're saying.
Right.
Yeah. So if there was
It's
any
interesting.
white,
So there must be some books about
You don't
studies.
see any white.
yeah, I know that Ovadia Yosef.
Why did he paskin that he was mad to them? I don't know how did he do it.
Well, he claimed that there's he claimed. I mean, I saw this is myself. That in the time of the Rishonim, there was a certain person called Eldad Hadani.
Right.
So he
traveled.
Right. He showed up from claiming that he was in all kinds of far out places, and he found a Sata Shvatim, and some other these tales said that they were the Ethiopian Jews.
Until he based it on, I'm sure it was a little bit more.
Something else. But the fact is that I myself pointed out that if you don't take science into consideration, you can make halakhic errors.
We definitely don't. We definitely didn't. The Rebbe said clearly not to allow the shita of most poskim was not to allow them into yeshivas or anything until they go through a gear.
Yeah, because like I say,
Go through a gear. Moshe Feinstein held that way. The Lubavitcher Rebbe held that way.
But a giyur l'chumra.
Well, whatever you want to say. No, it was no chiluk. They have to do a full geiris. They have to keep tired mitzvahs.
Yeah, okay, but you don't say a bracha when they go into the mikvah. because it's only Giyur L'chuma.
Okay.
But these black people in Togo, that's really a complete Giyur with a bracha.
Yeah, but if you're talking about 1,000 or 2,000 years,
Oh yeah.
it could end
So
up...
Lamaisa, very interesting. We spoke about the
There would
Svardim
always have to be
recently.
some white people among them, or even
Machlekes, Rishonim, whether or not
skinned people among them.
you are allowed to, a woman can make a bracha on Sefiras HaOmer or any other mitzvahs I say that she's potter from, but she wants to do it.
I don't know if other
Can she make a
rabbis
bracha?
have dealt with this issue. But
What is the
I just
minhag
know
by you?
from my knowledge
Make a
of
bracha,
Torah and
text the whole
science. It's
siyah
just
so far.
And that was the minhag
it's
always in
impossible
Iraq.
for them to be genetic Jews.
So the minhag is not
Now-
like the
now,
Rambam
if
with
they
this
ever
issue.
made a
The
giyur,
Rambam writes
they'll
not to
have
make
show
bracha,
some
With the
proof for
bench.
it.
but the Ashkenazim,
They have to show-
it's probably Ben
they
Ish
have to
Chai said to
show
make.
To
I
prove
think
that
a lot of the
they
Ben
once
Ish
had a
Chai
giyur.
was not always with the Mechaber and Shulchan Aruch, not with the,
No, not very often not. Totally different thing.
yeah. So Lamaisa, he says that in Iraq, the women would make a bracha on Sefiras HaOmer. So they didn't accept this psak of the Mechaber. Minhag was not that way.
It's well known, the Iraqis, to them, Ben Ish Chai is the Posek HaKavod, not the Mekaber.
Yeah. Lamaisa, there were some that said, Poskim, they cannot understand how women could take this upon themselves the chiyuv. It's brought down in Poskim that some countries, women accepted Sefiras HaOmer as a chiyuv. What do you mean accept as a chiyuv? Either it's a chiyuv or it's not a chiyuv. How do they have the power to create a chiyuv? Something out of nothing. So some want a taina based on this question. Doesn't bother everyone, the shaila. For those that it bothers the shaila, some of them have a pshat like this. They point out there's a fascinating shita, which is very hard to understand, of the Ramban. The Ramban held that Sefiras HaOmer is not on mitzvah say shazman gram. It has nothing to do with time. He quotes the Sefiras HaOmer. He doesn't make a discussion about it. He has a list of mitzvahs which are not ein hazman grama, and one of them is Sefiras HaOmer. Comes out women are chayiv is Sefiras HaOmer like the Ramban. So it comes out they want a time like this. When can women not create a mitzvah, take it upon themselves a chiyuv? When no one holds the chiyuv for them. But if they have a shita like the Ramban, who holds that Sefiras HaOmer is a chiyuv for them, so even though the halacha is not like the Ramban, but women can say, we want to accept that shita on ourselves, because there is such a shita. To create a new shita, there is no such a shita. But they say, that shita over there, we like that shita, we want to be mechuyev, and we accept that shita upon ourselves, and halacha, that's okay that they accepted that shita. So therefore, that's why they could make a chiyuv on themselves and Sefiras HaOmer. This is according to this beer. Other achreim don't have this problem. But so women can make themselves a chiyuv. What's the big deal? They became a neder, like people make a neder. They took themselves to do something like a minhag. A minhag which someone takes upon oneself to do. Someone keeps a minhag 3 times, becomes a neder. That's if someone wants to do something new, a new chumrah, a new minhag, and he says beli neder, then he will make sure it doesn't become. Otherwise, you have to say hataras nadarim. If you want to stop doing a certain minhag, you have to say hataras nadarim, because it becomes like a neder. So some you could say it's like a neder. Women took it upon themselves that we want to do the mitzvah Sefiras HaOmer. So it became like a neder. We don't mamish find today that women have it so strong. Women try to do it, but they don't mamish feel that. But most of them don't make it through Sefiras HaOmer because they're not having ma'ariv with a minyan and things like that. It's hard for them to keep up with doing the Sefira with a bracha at least.
It doesn't call chibud mitzvah.
It's chiyuv mitzvah, sure, but the lashon over here it says that in some countries women placed it upon themselves as a chayva. So they say you want to do something is a nice thing, you like the mitzvah, good. But over here it doesn't say that it says that they're able to create it as an obligation. It means in those countries women were obligated in it. How could they create this chiyuv? Some say no, they could create a chiyuv. Others say they're not creating a chiyuv from nothing. They're accepting upon themselves an existing sheet that held that women are chayavos. Now let's go further in Siv Beis. We'll finish Siv Beis. We have to go to Meir soon. He's now the lush of the Rambam. This mitzvah Sefiras HaOmer is in Eretz Yisrael and in Chutz La'aretz. That's true. It's all around the world, the mitzvah. Some mitzvahs only applicable in Eretz Yisrael. B'fnei habayis, shaloi b'fnei habayis. Whether there is a bayis, a beis hamikdash, whether there's no beis hamikdash, you're chayiv in Sefiras HaOmer. That's the sheet of the Rambam. However, the Alter Rebbe now brings v'yeshem. Others say, shebizman hazeh, these days, she'ein beis hamikdash kayim, ve'ein makriven ha'omer, ein mitzvah zu nehegas klal, midivrei Torah. It's not minat Torah. Ela midivrei soifrim, shetiknu zeichel and mikdash. Chachamim made us to do Sefiras HaOmer just like they did in the Beis HaMikdash to remind us what was in the Beis HaMikdash. V'chein Iker, the second opinion is the Iker, not like the Rambam. So we hold that the Iker halacha is Sefiras mizman hazeh b'Rabbanan. Mikol Makim, still in all, there's no very little practical differences whether it's Deraisa or Rabbanan. Because Kol ma shetiknu Chachamim tiknu ke'ein shel Torah. Anything Chachamim were masakin, they made it similar to the Deraisa. So we should do Sefiras HaOmer the same way it was done in the Torah. We will explain a number of differences, whether it's Deraisa or Rabbanan, later on in the Siman. But for the most part, lahalacha l'maisa, we treat it the same. Chatchila. When it comes to a suffix, we have suffix the Rabbanan l'kula, and you have issues with a suffix brachas l'hakol. Shaalos, someone didn't know he forgot Sfira, or different things, maybe he forgot, he wasn't sure, different things like that. But again, like we said earlier, there is that middle sheet, or the middle path, which is not quoted in Shulchan Aruch, or Rabbeinu Yeruchim, where he says, he splits. He said, counting the days is still Midaraisa today, but counting the weeks is only Midarabanan. He makes a split in between the two. Based on how he learned the Psukim, he points out the days are not connected to the carbon. Therefore, even though we don't have a carbon, we still have a chiv to say days midiraisa, minat Torah. On the other hand, Shavuos is connected intrinsically to the carbon. If there's no carbon, it's not. What happens if Mashiach comes in the middle of Sefiras HaOmer? When we will continue counting Sfira, will it become in HaTorah or not? Question: we didn't bring the carbon Omer. Sfartim lechem. From when he brought the, so we started a count which is the Rabbanan. In the middle, Mashiach comes, and now we have a Beis HaMikdash, but we can't go back in time and bring the carbon Omer. So are we going to say it's the Raisa in the Torah? Well, or not. But the Rebbe liked the Shaila. The Rebbe discussed it. The Rebbe was always hoping for Mashiach. So he always said, "What's going to be Mashiach comes? We have to decide what's going to be. Is it going to become Deraisa or not going to become Deraisa?" There's a similar discussion in a different vein regarding a Bar Mitzvah Bacher. Bar Mitzvah Bacher, when he becomes Bar Mitzvah, until Bar Mitzvah he was only Chayiv because of Chinuch. Now he's Bar Mitzvah, he's really Chayiv. Midrabanan. Because today it's only Midrabanan, right? But now he's Chayiv, not only Mitzad Chinuch, he's really Chayiv to do the Mitzvah. So what happens now? Can he continue saying it with a bracha? If he said until now with a bracha, can he continue saying it with a bracha or not? If we look at it, that whatever happened before is bar mitzvah, as if it didn't exist. Now he's bar mitzvah, he's a new person, it's a new stage in life. Whatever happened earlier, we don't connect. So you didn't count the beginning of Sefiras HaOmer. So how could we say that you could count midrabanan a chiyuv if you didn't have the earlier days? You missed the earlier days. You said it, but it's as if you missed it. Because you weren't chayiv in it midrabanan, you're only chayiv at mitzad chinuch. Others say no. Even though you only chayiv mitzad chinuch, that's enough to be mashlim that you can continue with the bracha. That's what most poskim hold. What the minig is that we do allow the bar mitzvah bacher to continue saying the bracha. We don't tell him stop saying the bracha. But there is a very interesting discussion about this whole topic.